I've got the vegetable here. They are organic and I have rinsed them and they are very nice and ready to go. So we'll start with the first and main ingredients, which is that tomato. We need to cut out the stem by just turning the knife around, or turning the tomato around the knife really. Oop. And we'll do that on all the tomatoes. We'll just dice it in 8 pieces per tomato. All right, now that we have chopped the tomatoes, we'll put it in the mixer or the blender. Call it whatever you like. And I have washed my hands, I promise. Our next ingredient is the red bell pepper. First we need to remove the seeds, and we'll do that by cutting in the middle, and then just then we'll just slice up the bell pepper a bit. We put the pepper into the blender. Then it's time for the cucumber. And we put the cucumber into the blender. Now it's time to add our last vegetable ingredients, which is more tomatoes, but this time it's cherry tomatoes. I like to use 50-50 normal tomatoes with cherry tomatoes because they have, I find them to be a bit more sweet and a bit less acidic. We're not going to bother chopping them up, we're just going to dump them right in. I'm going to mash it down a bit. Now I'm going to add the sea salt, which I have pre-grinded here. It's about 2 generous pinches, which is, I would say, 1/3 of a tablespoon, something like this. Sprinkle that in a bit. Next ingredient is just white pepper. Put a little bit on your palm and just dash it in there. Next up, we're going to add the sherry vinegar. We're not going to use too much because it's already quite acidic because the tomatoes. So we're just going to add a little tiny teaspoon. Boop. Now, our next ingredient will be our extra virgin olive oil. And we'll just put that in there. It's time for a controversial ingredient, and that is honey. Everyone in Spain is going to hate me, but I prefer to add a bit of honey to it because the acidity of the tomatoes, even if they're organic here in Dubai, they're a bit higher, and just to balance that acidity out, I like to add a generous teaspoon of honey. Plus I like a bit sweet. Don't you like a bit sweet? Yeah! Now for our final ingredient, it's going to be water. I prefer to use ice, the equivalent of 1 cup of water, 210-220 grams. We're going to take a little scale. Are you ready to blend it, my friend? Because of the ice, you can blend this for a couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes, and it will keep the ingredients cold and fresh. Right, done. Now that everything is blended and nice, we are going to put it in the fridge overnight to make it nice and cool and fresh, and also let the flavors kind of marinate and come together. It smells great. Done. Let's put it in the fridge. Oh, got no room, it's just beer here. And there it is. Let it sit for, well, at least 12 hours before you serve it. Enjoy.